Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the difference between creativity and imagination. Imagination is potential energy, while creativity is kinetic energy. And I want to give you a quick little example of when I realized that you need both. One without the other is like you just writing with your right hand and you're like, well, since I write with my right hand, why even use the left hand? That's a ridiculous statement to make because both hands are needed. So there was this one time when I was in Starbucks and I was doing some work and I was working with this one guy that was helping me set up my website. A couple of days beforehand, we took some pictures. And there was this one picture of me wearing a suit that I liked a lot. And I was looking at this picture and I'm like, where exactly should I put this picture on my website? We were brainstorming different things to do. But eventually, in Starbucks, there was a homeless guy to my right that was humming a lot of these songs. He just seemed like he was off in his own world. But he wasn't. He was actually paying attention to what me and my web developer were working on. And he eventually taps me on the shoulder and he's like, you're putting that picture in the wrong page. I was like, what? He's like, you're putting that picture in the wrong place. And I'm thinking, like, what the hell do you know? And he's like, that picture grabs my attention. That picture needs to be on the homepage. And when he said that, I was like, hey bud, put it on the homepage real quick. The web developer puts it on the homepage. And I'm like, whoa, that's beautiful. And I look at this homeless guy and I'm like, how could you tell? And he's like, well, I have a background in graphic design and art. I was looking at this guy and I'm like, well, his clothes are all tattered. He smells. He doesn't look like a kind of guy that knows anything about art. So I started to ask him more questions. I'm like, well, what do you think about the layout of this, this, this? And he just like, if I were you, I would do this, this, this. And I'm like to my web developer, hey, do that, that, that. So what I started to notice was that this homeless guy had a crazy imagination. But here's the thing, he didn't have the technical knowledge like my web developer. Because to use the website, you need a certain understanding of the basic technical knowledge. Where the web developer had insane creativity. He was able to use the kinetic energy, but his imagination wasn't like the homeless guy. And I'm like, whoa, to my right, this guy has crazy imagination. To my left, this guy has insane creativity. What if these two were combined into one person? And every now and then you meet this rare group of people that have an insane imagination. They think really big. They think in ways that are not even being conceived by other people. They're like, other people are like, wait, what? How did that thought even come to this guy's mind? Insane imagination. But imagine if this guy with insane imagination was lazy. Just think about it like that. If he was lazy, then he's not doing any creative acts. The ideas are simply staying in his mind. Now imagine another scenario. Imagine that this person couldn't speak. Let's say he has vocal paralysis and the vocal muscles don't work and he lacks fingers as well. It's like, dang, once again, insane imagination, but just doesn't have the tools necessary to turn that insane imagination into creativity. So if you're one of those folks that has a great imagination, now it's up to you to have that work ethic as well. It's not just about work ethic though. See, this is the one thing that you'll realize with creativity. It's like with imagination, ideas seem great in the mind. It seems borderline beautiful, but once you're trying to get it from the internal world to the external, that's when a lot of messiness is happening. Sometimes you're trying to get the ideas out there, but you're noticing your neck keeps doing these little spasms as you're getting into your creative groove. Other times, you're trying to get the imagination to the external world, but you just don't have any money. You just lack the funds in order to do it. And other times, it's like you're almost there, but then some guy just backstabs you in the last second. So imagination is not enough. You need to eventually turn that potential energy into kinetic energy. But you don't just want to be the guy with insane levels of creativity that's always breaking things and moving without taking some time to sit back and use the data that you're gathering with your hands and imagining and visualizing even more. So I believe that imagination fuels creativity and creativity fuels imagination. You don't just want to be the homeless guy. You don't just want to be the web developer. You want to be the best of both worlds. So if you enjoyed this talk, go on and drop that like for me right on below. Hit subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos on public speaking, social skills, creativity, and much more. And thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel.